If you've ever wondered how Viking families survived winters that froze fjords solid, the answer isn't just fur cloaks and roaring fires. It's in their walls. Long before insulation bats, vapour barriers, or modern masonry science, Norse builders discovered a clay wall method that quietly transformed fragile huts into warm, livable homes. This wasn't accidental craftsmanship. It was survival engineering, refined over generations, tested by wind, snow and darkness that lasted half the year. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly how this system worked, why it was so effective, and how the same principles can still be applied today in off-grid shelters, historical reconstructions, or even modern eco-homes. The construction process followed simple but deliberate steps. Vikings began with a timber frame set into the ground or stone footings. Thin branches or split saplings were woven between posts to form a flexible lattice. Clay-rich soil was then mixed with straw, animal hair or chaff to improve strength. This mixture was pressed into the lattice by hand, layer by layer, allowing partial drying between applications. Once the clay cured, turf blocks were stacked against the exterior, roots facing outward, creating a weather-resistant skin. The interior surface was often smoothed and occasionally lime-washed to reflect light and improve sanitation. Archaeological evidence shows that well-maintained Viking houses stood for decades. The flexibility of the wattle prevented structural failure during freezing conditions. Small cracks were easily repaired with fresh clay, making maintenance simple and sustainable. This was not a disposable building method. It was renewable architecture designed for long-term use with minimal tools. This technique is not locked in the past. If you are building an off-grid cabin, a root cellar or an emergency shelter, clay walls offer real advantages. In temperate or cold climates, you can replicate the Viking approach by using a timber or pole frame, weaving flexible branches, and packing locally sourced clay soil mixed with straw. Even a partial clay wall around a wood stove can increase heat retention dramatically. Some modern builders apply clay plaster over interior log walls to add thermal mass without altering the exterior. Practical examples where the Viking trick still works. Earthbag homes, cob structures and straw clay walls all rely on the same principles the Vikings used. Green builders now intentionally design homes with thermal mass near heat sources, exactly as Norse households did with their hearths. In emergency scenarios, a clay-lined shelter can outperform a tarp and wood hut by retaining warmth overnight. These are not romantic ideas. They are proven solutions refined by people who lived or died by their buildings. What the Viking clay wall trick teaches us about intelligence without technology. The brilliance of this system lies in restraint. Vikings used what was around them, understood how materials behaved, and built accordingly. No excess, no waste, no dependency on distant resources. Their homes worked because they respected physics long before it had a name. If you value knowledge that stands the test of time and want more deep dives into how ancient people solved real problems with real solutions, subscribe to In the Beginning. Share this episode with fellow history buffs and survival-minded thinkers, and keep these lessons alive for the future.